This is card number 1 for the Sending Good Thoughts Paper Pumpkin Kit from July 2022. I'm Jill Blanchette with Green Thumb Stampers. And this is the card that I'm going to show you how to make. You're going to start with an 8.5 by 5.5 inch Pacific Point base. Crease that down the middle. I have a layer of basic white that is 5 1/4 by 4. That's going to go on there. And I have pre-cut out with one of my dies a large circle that I just tried to center on the piece of paper that's the same size as this. And then we're going to we're going to blend on some color. So I'm going to start with Coastal Cabana. No, I think I'll start with Balmy Blue. You want to ink up your blender brush. And I'm going to try and hold this in place with my fingers. You could go ahead and use some Post-it tape to hold it together, hold it down. I'm going to give this my best shot and hope that it stays there. So start off the paper with your circular motions so you don't get a big blob of ink. So you'll get like that if you don't. So start off your paper, and then I want the bottom portion to be a little bit darker. So I'm going to concentrate with a little more ink down here. And then I'm going to switch to my Coastal Cabana ink. And I'm going to just put a little bit of that over the top to try and change, darken up, switch up with the color a little bit. Put a little bit more on the bottom. I'm going to call that good. I'm going to close those up. And then when you remove that over, this I guess would be reverse masking, because we're masking off a large portion and just concentrating on a smaller area. We're going to call that finished. Then I'm going to utilize the stamps in the stamp set that came with the pumpkin kit, and I'm going to use this little dotted stamp. I don't really think that it is sand, but I'm kind of utilizing it as my, I'm going to call it my ocean floor. Just a smidge like that. To put a little bit of dark down there. And then I put the starfish. I probably need to move my foamy thing so that I'm stamping on it. I'm just going to put the starfish down at the bottom as well. And then I came in with the weeds, the seagrass, maybe we want to call it, with old olive. This, by the way, was crumb cake. I'm going to come in with my old olive for the grass. I'm just going to put that on here a few times. Give it some depth. I didn't restamp. I've only got the one that's on there dark like that. And then I've got my Poppy Parade that I'm going to use the little seahorse on. And then I'm just going to have him swimming. And where I got that big blop where I showed you what it was going to look like, I'll put one on there to kind of cover that up a little bit. And I'm just going to have a few seahorses swimming around in my card. And then I've got my Pacific Point ink that I'm going to stamp my words with. And I'm going to use Can't Wait to See You. Just going to put that underneath like that. And then I've got my trimmer. And then I'm just going to score. I scored my other one at 1/4 of an inch, and that looks a little bit too small. So I'm going to go 3/8 of an inch just to give it a little more. You don't want to push too hard either, or you're going to rip through your paper, but you do want to press hard enough that you're going to see the score lines in there. So I'm just going around all 4 sides at 3/8 of an inch. And then that's what we end up with. You can see those score lines on there. We're going to glue that to the front. This is a pretty quick and simple card, yet pretty fun. And then on the inside, I went ahead, oops, and as you can see, this one I popped up for another added element, and I forgot to pop up this one. So I could peel it off and put my embossing buddy all around the side, which I may still do. If you peel it up, put your embossing buddy on there, it'll take the glue sticky off, and then you can pop it up on dimensionals. And then on the inside, I just took my blender brush with the ink that's left in it, and I blended in the corner just a little. And then I took my grass and I stamped off, because I don't want it all that dark on the inside. And then I did one more little seahorse on the inside. And again, I stamped off on the seahorse as well. And then I glued that to the inside. And then that completes our first card with this kit.